Welcome to Habari News Weekly. I'm Damon Ellison.
I'm Aisha Rowan.
Habari News Weekly is where we hope to keep you informed with news, politics, and debate, and much, much more. Coming to you live from Mirror Studios in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get it going. Movement to limit police raids looks beyond no-knock warrants. No-knock search warrants, which allow police to force their way into a home with the element of surprise, have attracted criticism since the height of the war on drugs in the 1980s and the 90s. But it wasn't until this year that the death of Breonna Taylor galvanized that criticism into a national movement to ban the raids. Taylor was shot to death in her own home during a questionable raid by Louisville police. Now she's become a symbol for the national raids. Do we really want to be jeopardizing the lives of individuals for search drug warrants? Asked Connor Boyack, founder of the Liberties Institute, a libertarian think tank in Utah, which is pushing for new limits on forcible entry raids. We've seen it in Utah. We've seen it in Breonna Taylor's case, he says. We're losing lives with this on both sides of the firearms side. And so is it worth it? The way that we need to authentically honor Breonna Taylor's life is to ensure that we stop the practice and tactic of no-knock raids, says Katie Ryan of Campaign Zero, another organization that has joined the movement for fewer raids. They've launched a new project to change state and local laws. We will kind of keep you updated with more, and hopefully they can get those laws changed. Newly elected DAs vow to continue reforms, end policies deemed unfair. This month's election, especially in the aftermath of this summer's protests against racial injustice, were seen as a test for criminal justice reforms. This week was especially true for so-called progressive district attorneys. Many policies in the higher profile cities of Philadelphia, San Francisco, and Chicago already had drawn the ire of some of the law enforcement, including choosing not to prosecute certain low-level crimes, among other changes. These policies appear to be just fine with voters in cities with prosecutors who vow to continue shaking things up. A prime example is in Chicago, where Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx won her bid for re-election. The office is the second largest in the county, behind Los Angeles County, with more than 700 attorneys. Foxx is the first black woman to lead it. She is considered one of the country's first prominent progressive prosecutors, first elected in 2016. She promised to transform a criminal law justice system that disproportionately affects people of color. Despite some political stumbles, her re-election is an example of the movement's progression. It means in this next term, doubling down on efforts, says Foxx, to make sure that people with substance use disorders or mental health issues have the resources they need in communities so we can stop the de facto use of our justice system to help people in crisis. Hopefully they can get more things passed for criminal justice reform, and we definitely will be standing behind them, and more news to come in the following days.
This week in fashion, Hamale Aiden, the Somali American model, said she's leaving the runway fashion shows because the industry has forced her to stray away from her religious beliefs. She says, "I have finally realized where I went wrong in my personal hajib journey." Adding that I'm taking a stand not only for myself, but I'm also taking a stand for all those people who lost their soul to fashion. Aiden first made headlines in 2016 when she was the first woman to wear a hijab, which is a headscarf worn by many Muslim women who feel it's a part of their religion. She wore this in the Miss Minnesota USA pageant. And in other Hollywood news, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson reacts to his fanny pack photo going viral for the Thanksgiving Day parade. "Never in my wildest dreams," Johnson wrote, alongside his clip of the balloon on TV posted to his Instagram. "I've been a lucky son of a bitch to have done some pretty cool shit in my career. But after seeing my fanny pack float in the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, this takes the cake."
Thank you for watching Habari News Weekly. Stay safe and mask up.